Ladies and gentlemen, aviation enthusiasts and curious minds alike, welcome to the thrilling mini-series that will take you soaring through the skies called What Makes This Plane Great? In this episode, we will be talking about one of the most important and most produced Russian fighters of the war. That plane is the Russian single-engine fighter, the Yakovlev Yak-9. So, what makes this manoeuvrable lower-altitude fighter great? Well, it was a very well-designed aircraft that proved to be very adaptable and versatile. The plane's airframe was made out of this aluminium alloy known as duralumin, so the Yak-9 was lighter than previous Yak models. The lighter airframe meant it was able to carry more fuel and armament than previous Yak fighters, and many variants of the Yak-9 got built for different purposes. While the airframe itself never really changed, different variants of the Yak-9 would carry different armament, house different engines, feature different wing setups and different fuel tank configurations, with some of these designs working out better than others. The Yak-9T featured a 37mm cannon through the propeller hub and was built as a tank buster, but was also successful against enemy shipping and aircraft. They did try to add even bigger cannons to the Yak-9, but the massive recoil caused problems, and less successful fighter-bomber and long-range escort variants of the Yak-9 were also built. As a fighter, it could perform very well against the Focke-Wulf FW-190As and was more manoeuvrable than the Messerschmitt Bf-109Gs, which were the latest German fighters at the time. It was against these German fighters that the Yak-9 was able to help the Soviets gain air superiority from about the Battle of Kursk onwards, and near the end of the war, one of the top Russian pilots even managed to shoot down a Messerschmitt Me-262 while flying a Yak-9. As well as the Yak-9s beating the Germans through their great performance characteristics, they were also able to beat the Germans purely by outnumbering them, and there were always so many of them. The main variant of the Yak-9 was the U variant, which had improved aerodynamics and engine, which made it one of the fastest Allied aircraft of the war, and it was probably even the best Russian fighter at higher altitudes. This model helped the Russians massively in getting air superiority, and it got to the point where the Germans were told to avoid the Yak-9Us altogether if they could, or in other words, don't engage the Yak-9s without the antenna mast. Before I go, I just want to say that Yak-9s were involved in the Korean War too. This time, they were coming up against both American piston engine and earlier jet fighters, and they were also involved with close flying interfering to British and American planes in the Berlin airlift. There are only a few genuine Yak-9s in the world now, all of which are on museum display in museums all over the world. The airworthy Yak-9s you see flying are actually replicas that have American Allison's engines in them. And that's it for this thrilling journey through the skies. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my aviation content, etc. Check out 2 videos at the end, or my CD reviews, or even playlists I've created. Cheers.